Hey everybody, Shane Presley here with the Rock Paper Podcast. Very excited to welcome Music Record Shop on sponsoring this episode. Music Record Shop is a premier record store featuring the largest selection of new vinyl in the St. Louis area, as well as new cassettes, CDs, and used vinyl. They offer hard-to-find titles from your favorite local St. Louis acts, as well as world-renowned bands. Official store hours are Tuesday through Thursday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. or later. Located in the heart of the Grove at 4191 Manchester Avenue, right in between the demo and the ready room. Find them online at musicrecordshop.com, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell them the Rock Paper Podcast sent you.
My name's Andy.
I'm Casey.
This is Chris, and we are Cavo, and you are listening to Rock Paper Podcast.
Yeah! Penis.
Bam! Yeah. This is Rock Paper Podcast with Shane and his guests. You will listen to what he says. Shane will drive to your house and bring you brownies and talk for hours, 'cause it's Rock Paper Podcast. Tell me why it's nothing but a podcast. Tell me why we're making this for your ass. Tell me why. All you gotta do is download Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey, what's going on everybody? Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Hanging out with the guys of Cavo.
Hey.
What up?
Hello.
Quiet time, guys. Quiet.
Gee, our fans rowdy tonight.
Yeah, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
It's very exciting. Also sitting in tonight, co-host with me tonight is Gabe Stroup. Welcome to the show, Gabe.
Double trouble. Glad to be here. Double trouble.
I'm very excited about this, guys. This is it's fun to see that we got a show coming up. We got new Cavo music coming up. So it's exciting times to sit and chat. And,
Finally, right?
Yeah.
Finally. Long time in the making.
Yeah. So what it's so the new record. I guess we can start there.
Yes. The new record is called Bridges. We're thinking January release. It only took us like 3 years.
Right.
I mean, we tried to rush it, so we were looking for 7.
We didn't want to fade away.
Yeah.
You know?
We're going for 13 years in between records, but who does that, right? So,
I mean, yeah.
A lot of people go to school for 7 years.
It's true. Our record has a doctorate.
Bridges, and you guys did crowdfunding, right? For that? For
Yes.
some of the, was that through Pledge Music for that one?
PledgeMusic.com. They helped us out and put together a bunch of stuff for us, and we were a big part of it. And we really wanted the fans. You know, we were kind of writing ourselves and thinking, do we want to go to a label and shop the songs again like we've done in the past, or do we just want to do it ourselves? And we didn't want the interference from suits and people who only look at the bottom line. We wanted full control over how our music sounded, because this is our third album, and we know that it's time to stand on our own 2 feet and not rely on anybody else.
Yeah, I've talked to several bands over the span of the show, and there's quite a few of them done various forms of crowdfunding lately, especially up and coming local guys, and
not having the funding and stuff, so they rely on their fans to help them out. And there's a lot of various mixed opinions on it. Some people are against it, some for it, and things. But I think it's great. I think it's really a cool way to get some, especially if it's one of your favorite bands that you back. You get some really neat perks. You get I just backed The Urge. They did their new record on crowdfunding, and I got to one of the perks was to go to the live album recording.
That's cool.
That they did.
Cool.
So I got to hang with one of my favorite bands while they're recording the record.
Right.
Eat, have cake and everything with them. And
See, that's the cool thing about a site like that. It's like it's really cool for the fans, but I think what a lot of bands don't get, it's really cool for the bands too. Like when we were in Austin, we recorded down at Orb Studios in Austin, and one of the things was you give a certain amount and we'll take a Polaroid camera or whatever they are, those little disposables, and we'll just take random shots throughout the whole recording of our record. And it's like that one went really, really well because it's like, just think about like your favorite band growing up as a kid, and they can have a camera and take pictures and give to you that no one else will ever have. Yeah. It's just you getting pictures of random shots of like your coolest band. It's like that's the cool thing is the bands can have a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And we get to go to dinner with somebody from Chicago who's been a big fan for a long time. Like that's just, I think it's amazing. I think it's a cool way to, especially get in touch with the fans and see who really is into it and who cares about it.
Yeah. Crack open this Cold Surge.
Ooh,
Sponsor.
Shout out to Surge.
Rock Paper Podcast brought to you by Surge. We're actually doing this podcast in 1997. Actually, that's what's that are wondering. The 90s drink.
Chris, do you have the tray to go with the chair that he's
The
sitting
tray?
in?
No, I don't.
Like that, 'cause it's
You can fold out the bench though.
Yeah, man. Marty McFly brought me this.
It is 2015.
Yeah.
Marty! Have you guys seen the hoverboards that are out now? They're actually out.
No,
they're not as cool as they think. The station I work for gave one away, but we all got to play with it before.
Yeah.
And like it does hover like this much, and then you get on it and it goes to the ground, but it like slides, so you are technically hovering. But I felt bad for the dude that won it because it came in. He was like, "Oh, finally!" I was like, "Dude, when you get home, I want you to Facebook me and tell me how disappointed you are." Because you don't hover. I mean,
It's a slide board.
Yeah, it really is. It's more just like a glide thing.
slow glide.
It's coming, just not yet.
They actually just today because speaking of all this, so the big talk is the Cubs in the playoffs, and because in Back to the Future 2, they predicted the Cubs winning the World Series, and so far
It'd be crazy if that actually happened.
Yeah, right.
We just talked about that.
When that movie come
out?
out, 84 or 87?
I didn't. Okay, because obviously I'm a Rams fan. Sounds really bad. I'm going to get persecuted probably, but I don't really follow the Cardinals that close until the postseason.
Right.
And here I am thinking, they're playing the Cubs. This should be fine. And then last night I checked my phone, and everybody's so mad, and I'm like, they're just so mad. It's not even over.
Yeah.
It's over. So
Right.
yeah, how crazy will it be if that happens?
Dude, that would be,
It's
that
funny.
would be crazy.
It's funny you mentioned like I'm in the same way. Like I don't really follow baseball at all.
Yeah.
So much to where I am like the worst St. Louis hometown guy because we were on the road playing in Pittsburgh a couple years ago, and Dave Freeze is friends with the guys, and he was out on the bus.
Yeah.
I come out of the bathroom, I see this random dude on the bus by himself, and I'm like, "Hey man, how'd you get on here?" I'm going to throw him off, or at least get someone to throw. I'm not tough. I get someone to throw him off. Okay, Brian, go find someone that has muscles and balls and have him throw him off. And then I realized after a few minutes it's Dave Freeze. That's how bad of a St. Louis hometown guy I am. I didn't know what he looks like.
Right.
That might be me though too. I knew who that was though. That's really bad.
Yeah, I think you're a little better off than I am. But these guys have helped me a little bit. I've gotten more into watching and being aware of baseball and stuff since then.
There was another part of this video, speaking of the hoverboard and the Cubs, there was all these things that they broke down, like what that movie Back to the Future 2 predicted by 2015 we'd have, and like where we are at on all these various things, and the hoverboard was one of them, and they brought up, but they brought up like this, we're supposed to have like these virtual reality glasses. We're supposed to have the Nikes, the self laces, which is, I guess, actually Nike has like a patent on it, and they're supposed to have motors with it. I mean, they got like a couple of days to get them out in time.
Got a few more months.
They're working really hard.
Yeah, according to the movie
this week.
But one of the things they said that they got wrong was there's not fax machines everywhere. Because remember in that movie there was like fax machines everywhere?
Yeah.
That's one thing that's not true.
They had like robot trash cans, which is the guys were in the video were kind of talking about essentially like a Roomba. You know, like we sort of have that technology. And then I don't know. It was just funny, like all the different things. There was we're supposed to be able to open up doors with our thumb.
You kind of can in some ways.
Yeah, so that's like the
that installed it.
And they had that one scene where they showed that Cavo was supposed to have a number one album.
That's right.
Remember that one?
Their single like swept the nation.
Yeah,
that's right.
Sweeping the nation was the
That was the actual.
The headline changed in the paper.
Showed Cavo winning a Grammy. I want that pizza. Remember the pizza in Back to the Future 2? It's like this big.
Hydrated pizza?
Yeah, I want pizza.
That looks so good.
Yeah.
That's going to be rad when that comes.
Pumps are coming back.
Yeah.
Pumps. Did you see that?
Yeah. It is weird though, man. They have that whole conspiracy video about 9/11 where did you seen that one on YouTube where Back to the Future 2 predicted the Twin Towers falling? You should watch that. Like the clips, like it's pretty crazy.
Huh.
That dude knew something.
Yeah.
He's the time traveler.
Gabe saying pumps. My brain went to Robin Hood Men in Tights when Chappelle's like, "Excuse me, guys, I got to get pumped up."
My favorite part was like if somebody like at school, if your friend was wearing pumps and they got them all tight and everything, you just like press the little button.
Take her down a notch.
Damn it! Going nowhere skill. And you really think they couldn't move after that?
That's right.
Like, oh wait, you can still
man, I
walk.
can't play basketball until I pump these up again.
I'm now paralyzed from the waist down.
I'm unpumped.
Right. Can't wait till you buy some so I can do that to you.
Yeah. I like that it only took us like 8 minutes before this interview fell off the tracks. And,
It's been derailed.
Yeah.
I think it only took like a minute.
Yeah.
I think we've been talking for 7 minutes about Back to the Future.
That's what I love doing the show. It's just like I said, just hanging out with buddies, having fun. If we talk about music, that'll be fine too. But
it makes it easier.
I enjoy just talking about. It's not. It's a lot more. This format's definitely a lot more laid back than traditional radio and such. So
let's start over.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, Andy said something about from St. Louis. You guys are all raised here in St. Louis, right? Or
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Since first grade, I've been here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've been here all your life, right, Chris?
Yeah, whole life.
Yeah. I born and raised just down the street.
Nice.
So this is my hometown, man. This has been it's been fun, just and then that's essentially why I enjoy doing this show too, is just to help my community out in whatever way possible. If I can help plug some dates and CDs and everything else, and
being on the road a lot, there was like every once in a while you'd run into someone who, I guess it was more coastal, but they'd be like, "You're from St. Louis, the Midwest," and they'd be like, "It's little cows," and they'd say St. Louis is a great town. I love it. Sure. Like our sports teams are always good. Some of them, most of them.
You looked at me when you said that.
Yeah, I saw the Rams shirt.
Yeah, I remember we were always like the anomaly because we were all from the same town, like the band.
Yeah.
Like most bands, like somebody's from somewhere else, and they all kind of meet somewhere. And we're like, we're all kind of the same place. The bus picks us up.
We live
in
by
one
each
place,
other.
and
Even.
we pick each other up.
People used to think it was so crazy that when we were on tour, we'd be out for like 9-10 months, and they'd be like, "So when you guys go home, you guys like go to your own places?" We're like, "No, we all live by each other, and we'll probably have a barbecue the day after we get back because we're actually friends." And other bands would be like, "You guys like each other?" Sometimes. All the time, Andy.
Most of the time. Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
When you're out on the road, what do you guys crave the most for like local food or anything? Like what do you guys have a spot where you guys like to go? And
I know Brian's really big in it. What's that pizza joint that has the taco pizza?
down on Watson. What is it?
He talked. There's a place down in Watson or something that makes a taco pizza, and he took us there once when we came home. That is good stuff. Man.
Yeah,
but I kind of like. I like anything. You know what I'm saying? So like There's a Chipotle anywhere.
Yeah.
We'd always just wake up in Starbucks anywhere. So every time I get up on the bus, they'd be gone because they'd all be walking to Starbucks, and I'd look for a Chipotle or a Subway, and I'd walk there.
I actually like going out and seeing like the other towns' food, like getting to local restaurants and
For sure.
stuff like that. So I'm a big fan of like just checking out the local cuisine.
Yeah. Yeah, taco pizza. I used to work at Stefanina's in Wentzville.
Place is awesome.
I used to work construction like during the summer and things, and then as I would deliver throughout weeknights, and then winter would come around, I would pick up more hours there when construction got slowed down. So I'd cook and do dishes or whatever it took to get a paycheck. So but most of the time I was doing delivery driving, but yeah, they would do a taco pizza there, and it was pretty awesome.
Do they still do it?
Yeah. So
They actually do, yeah. I used to eat there.
Gonna head there right after this.
Right.
Now.
You get your some toasted raviolis and
Yeah.
People have no idea what that is outside of
Yeah.
St.
Yeah, that's
Well, what?
crazy,
A
man.
toasted
Pork
ravioli?
steaks.
Right.
Everyone knows a pork steak.
What?
Pork sticks.
It's so funny. They literally just got toasted ravioli in Tennessee because I live in Tennessee, and I went to a Kroger and I found some at the frozen. I was like, oh my god, I bought like 6 boxes. And I brought it up. I brought it up to the register, and the lady literally goes, "This is just fried ravioli." I was like, "You don't get it. Get your hands off it." So I went to self checkout.
Yeah.
Enough of this. But yeah, they just now came down there.
I don't need you judging me, lady.
Yeah, right. It's not fried at all. It's toasted. It's healthy.
Yeah.
It says it in the name.
It's in the name, man.
Actually, I wanted to ask you too. You posted the picture hanging out with Dave Grohl in Nashville at the.
Well, a lot of people. I haven't made the announcement yet, but I'm actually the new drummer for the Foo Fighters as well.
Oh, okay.
So now there you go. No, it was just
Cavo's still your first
I
priority.
know
right?
a guy who might have something to say about that.
right. No, that was crazy, man. I went to a party. It was actually pretty cool because one of my favorite bands reunited and played the party. That's why I went, and I went and watched them. And Gabe Grohl just walked in, and it was really cool too because I have this arch nemesis that I don't like in Nashville. He's a douchebag guy, and he had to be at the party as well. We don't speak. We just see each other. And the way I walked in, Dave Grohl walked in right behind me and then stood next to me. I hadn't met him yet. But to my arch nemesis, it looked like I fucking walked into this party with Dave Grohl. So, of course, I had to just play into it, like, shoulder to shoulder, like, try to pretend.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. Did a bunch of shots with him, and I don't usually get pictures with people just because I feel like a douchebag to do that. But everyone's outside hanging. I was like, yeah, and I knew I would never probably meet him again, so I had to do it. And so we were shotgunning a PBR. He had a bunch of PBRs for everyone, and I was like, man, I hate to be that guy, but can I just get a picture with you? So I took it's my first selfie I've ever taken. I did like a selfie with the thing. I didn't have a stick, but it was cool. But then it was really dark though, so I had to light it up on Instagram.
Sure.
Yeah, it was cool.
You guys watch SNL?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The new one with Amy Schumer. They did a bit where it was selfie stick thing, and it was like how it was first the selfie that like, your first trip to New York, and then you take your selfie at Times Square, and your fat head's in the way or something. Now you need the selfie stick. So and then it's like they have a stick in it, and she's like, but my arm's starting to hurt from holding it, and all. And they're like, now you need a hands-free selfie stick, and it's like you shove this thing up your butt, and then it hangs out in front of your face. So it was just cracking me up. I was like,
Amy Schumer's funny.
Yeah, as funny as it is, granted, I probably won't have something that shoves in your butt, but that was Amy's joke was, she's like, I can hardly feel it anymore, and then she's like, all you gotta do is clench, and it takes a picture, and she's like, this thing takes pictures, Anyway, it was a good one, but yeah, as funny as it is, really, we're probably not far from somebody coming up with some kind of thing, just.
They have
whatever it is.
I saw something on BuzzFeed or something where they have a spoon selfie stick so you can take pictures of yourself eating food.
Wow, that's crazy. There's a scary statistic that I heard the other day.
What is
statistic? I don't know why I can't say it, but there's a scary thing I heard, and I don't know if it's true, but they were saying that more people yearly die from selfie stick accidents than it was
shark attacks.
Yeah, people fall off cliffs and it's like
Yeah,
How lame. Can you imagine that's the way you went out?
Funny, man.
I think the stats were
Natural
like
selection.
Survival of the fittest, man.
Weeding them out.
I think the stats were like this year, 12 people had died from selfies and 8 from shark attacks.
Wow, that's crazy.
Something like that. Yeah.
Can you imagine if like that was like like your dad or someone died that way? You're like, get to tell people that like, how'd your dad die? Was he in a wreck? No, he was taking a picture with Niagara Falls and fell. It's like it's just such an embarrassing way to go.
He's a horrible selfie taker.
And everyone's like, but did he get the shot?
Yeah.
So these guys will be at the Pageant Friday, October 23rd,
Yes, sir.
with Yelawolf,
And Meg Myers.
Meg Myers, and actually, he made an announcement the other day. My friend Matt Wynn will be opening up too, so I guess he's going to play early on and
Oh,
do
cool.
some acoustic stuff.
Very cool.
So
Very cool.
Sweet.
yeah. I think he's playing as a duo. Tim Bauer plays bass. So yeah,
Very cool.
Matt was just on a show and we had a lot of fun talking. He's real talented guy. He's a little more kind of country stuff and
Oh, cool.
but yeah.
We're really excited about that show, man.
Yeah.
We're trying to put together something that Cavo fans have never seen. Our first show back for a long time. Like
Yeah.
we got a couple of buddies playing. Vic from Hurt and the Hustlers is playing keys for us and percussion, and Bond from Brook Royal and every other band in St. Louis is playing acoustic. And then we have a background singer, Jen. She's been in a band with Brian for years, and she's an amazing singer. It's intimidating when she comes. Like she was just here. It's intimidating, It's like I'm singing my parts, and then she comes in with these Christina Aguilera shit. I'm like, she's like, is that good enough? I'm like, yeah, shut up. It's like you don't know it's good enough. But we're really excited about it because we didn't want to just do the same old sit down and play the songs as the way they go.
Yeah.
We wanted to come up with new arrangements and new sounds for them, and I think people are going to be really surprised to hear some of these songs. They expect to hear them a certain way, and then also we're going to play a bunch of new songs. So
Oh, very cool.
hopefully people will dig the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening to Howard Stern.
Love Howard.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan. He was doing it was like best of 2015 thing, but they just had Imagine Dragons on a while
Yep.
back, and they did like acoustic arrangement of Radioactive, and it was like
Great.
yeah, it was just like a really cool hearing a totally different take on
Right.
the song, like compared to what you've heard on the radio forever, like and it was just like keyboards and I don't know, maybe a guitar, I think, or something. But yeah, it was like
I think a bass and keyboard.
yeah, but
it was awesome.
It was very
Really cool.
yeah, that was a really cool. But anyway, so hopefully it'll be a similar type of thing having, especially with Vic on keys, like you said, and
They're talented guys, man. It's like growing up in the music scene, way younger years from touring, just touring around St. Louis, doing stuff, trying to play shows and stuff. I felt like there was always like an animosity in bands, and there was always like the I got to get better than you type thing. It was never like the camaraderie thing. And then I started hanging out with Scott Gherkin, the lead singer of Mesh and Modern Day Zero and stuff, and he always reached his hand down to help people. When he got something, he helped somebody else. And I always thought that's the way it should be, and I'm really excited because I think that's the way St. Louis is coming now. I think the music scene from St. Louis is starting to change and push farther towards that. It's like if you get something, help somebody else. It's like you're lucky to be where you are. You're not. No one. This is a weird thing to say, but I say this a lot. It's like no one. You don't ever deserve to live that life. No one ever deserves it. Dave Grohl doesn't deserve it. It's not like he did something earlier in his life. It's like, now you were so good, now you get to be a rock star millionaire. It's a blessing. It's something that you've definitely earned it, but I think you have to continue to earn it, is my point. You have to continually do things to earn your place in the music,
Yeah,
Oh, totally.
So who have you guys been able to pay it forward and help other bands out along the way too?
We try as hard as we can, man. Like when we went on tour, like a while back, we would take our friends out, and like a lot of people would say, "Hey, we got this band from Universal that's really good. They're up and coming." Like, no, we're going to take out Shaman's Harvest from Columbia, and they were like, we got these guys. Like, no, we're going to take out our friends. We're going to do this. A lot of times they were like, "It's not you should take." They don't have a following. They don't have this. I'm like, well, that's why you go out and start playing smaller shows, is to get a following. It's like, and that's our boys, And it's like every time Brooke Road would come out and play, we would get them to play either in St. Louis or Springfield, Jeff City, Columbia, wherever we were playing. We would just try to get our friends to come play, and it's like I said a second ago, I think you have to. I think that's what that is. You're paying it for. That is you're living up to your obligation, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you guys mentioned Scotty, but you guys were recorded a trailer, right? With out there
with Scotty and Rich. Rich was the engineer and a lot of producers. He produced a lot of stuff for us when we first were recording our very first record. The Painful Art of Letting Go was all him. He did all our demos and stuff for Bright Nights and Thick as Thieves. He did everything. That's the thing, man. They were just so great. And I've always, everyone I talked to was always like, we're thinking about recording a record. I'm like, go to Trailer Studios. Because a lot of places that I've found around St. Louis in the past where they try to charge hourly. And I think in that kind of mentality, you get to where it's like, you got to be done by 6. Yeah. So the greatness has to come in these 7 hours. Whereas they used to charge you a flat fee. And it's like, if it takes us a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we hope it doesn't take long because we want more bands here to pay more money, obviously. But if it takes that long, it takes that long. Sometimes you're just not feeling it. You're just you get out there to sing some tracks, and I'm just like, sure. I just don't have it tonight. I just don't feel it. And I'm just bored. I want to do something else. Let's go to the bar. And we go out and drink at the bar. And then the next night I come in and sing, and you felt it. It's like, that's the cool thing.
I think that's crazy. You guys, and then like I said, Shamans. I know they recorded their latest record there, a trailer. Mm-hmm. But hearing Dirty Diana on the radio and stuff now, and knowing that was recorded in Forestell, Missouri, is pretty crazy. Right. It's it's not recorded in some big LA studio or whatever and stuff, but it's great rock music comes from right here in town. And
right.
It's a great place, and it's a really cool place to create and play music out there on his the country out there in the farm.
Land.
We actually we wrote a majority of the record out there. The studio wasn't actually up and functioning, but he's such a good guy to us. He let us hang out there and write. So we were out there every night, just grinding away, writing songs for 2 years,
2.5.
Yeah. So
drinking beer.
Nothing but greatness out there. They've always been so good to us, and it's kind of like our home out there almost, because we've just been writing music there for a decade now.
Yeah,
it's great.
Very cool. Yeah, talking about what you were saying earlier got me thinking a lot about the Ink Spot Block Party, because that's where I just ran into you guys at the over the summer.
Yeah.
There's a couple a while back at the last one, and you guys have played before and things. But that's how I feel like it's just it's fun to see these bands, from all over the area here, and all come together, and it's like a big family reunion out there. It's just fun to watch these bands all hanging out and having a good time. Gabe played this last one, and but it's just fun to see these bands hanging out and interacting with each other and having just as much fun being there as the fans are having. Being there.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of bands that had people from other bands. This is probably the most I've seen at the block party. There's a bunch of bands that played with other friends from other bands coming up and doing things with them, and it was that's the way music should be. Mm-hmm. That's why Seattle back in the 90s was a scene. Mm-hmm. It's not because Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and Mudhoney were fighting each other. It's because they were helping each other, and they made it a scene and made it cool to be from Seattle. We made it from Seattle, but all these other bands suck.
Right.
When Chris Cornell got signed and he was on the radio, he was talking about one of the first things that they did, right, was Temple the Dog. Mm-hmm. We featured some of the Pearl Jam guys. It's like in Mudhoney, I think. It was like, that's the way it should be. That's how it should be.
There's a lot of us that are trying to change that. Right now, and I think it's kind of become a group effort the more it's gone, and it's really been the past, I would say, 6-8 months. It's really picked up. I don't know if you guys know Coco from Fivefold. He's started We Are United, which is just a great idea. He's a good dude, but
it's showing.
Brought Jack up from Royal, brought Ryan from Fivefold, and I was up there with him.
Yep.
And through that, I met Jack for the first time. He does nothing but talks good about you guys, obviously, because you know how much you helped him.
He's a good dude. Jack's a great guy.
He's an awesome guy. Super talented guy too.
But it was like that. There's a lot of bands that still they're getting used to it. Like even Silent Hollow was talking about it. Like that feeling of going to a show and seeing 3 other bands. You're all trying to do the same thing in the same town. Nobody's no matter how good you think you are, it does not matter. And so, it's just we're trying to bridge the gap, and I think it's really picked up steam.
It's starting to show, and that's the biggest thing about it. Is what I don't think. Like back in years and years ago, I think bands didn't understand. I was so young, like no one ever listened to me. They always like, "Shut up, kid," whatever. But it's like if every band gets together and so and so gets signed, it makes the labels pay attention to your town.
Right.
It's not just that one band from the middle of the country that got signed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you become the Seattle scene, or you can become L.A. or New York. That's how those places happened.
Sure.
Because there was so much talent there, and there's a lot of talent here. There's always been massive amounts of talent here.
You guys know Ziggy?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Like this all started for me, like literally, like I said, about 6 months ago. When I really jumped into it, is when I was just trying to figure out how to do well for myself, even. Like, how do I get people to care about what I'm doing? Because everybody's so cold, it's like, nobody cares. And then Zig goes, well, do you care about what everybody else is doing? And I was like, whoa.
It's like a Yoda moment.
Just, he's like a miniature Buddha.
Zig is that guy, man. He really is. He's wise, way beyond his years. I've always said it, but he's one of the best human beings I've ever met. Like he is just he's a straight shooter, and that's so rare these days. He used to be our TM and sound guy, and he would literally tell us straight to our faces, like, "Yeah, that really sucked."
Yeah,
and you're like, it stings and it hurts when he said it, but then you go back and you sit backstage and you sit there for a while and have a couple of beers. You're like, silence clears. You're like, so how do we make it any better?
Right.
Yeah.
If you would have said that wouldn't have happened. And there's so many problems that we overcame because of that. Like, we're too bunch of pussies to say to each other. Like, people were afraid to tell me, "You were so flat this entire song," and like he would tell me straight up right in front of everybody. And like you could see people's faces like,
"Oh shit!"
Yeah, he was so flat. But if he wouldn't have said that, I wouldn't have known.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like I thought I passed it by everybody. I was like, "Great show, high five," and it's like, no, it wasn't that great of a show.
His honesty, man, is awesome. I recorded with him years ago before I was in Cavo, actually, and I remember I was doing drums and Ziggy was recording it, and I had this really cool fill that I was so proud of, and I like nailed it. And he came on the thing and he was like, "Dude, that fucking fill," and I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Not so cool." I think I was even smiling up until then. And I was like, "Oh, all right." And he's like, "Yeah, do something cool." And so I did, and later on he played the 2 for me, and it was so lame what I was doing before. He was so right. He was so right. He's got to hear the hard truth, and he'll tell you.
Yeah.
Man, he's produced a lot of stuff for me. He's great. Like,
he's a good dude, man. Really good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude.
He's running sound for us on the 23rd.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
When he came out to me and Chris do this cover side thing. He came out and hung out for a while, and he just asked me. He's like, "Hey man, if I'm going to be there anyways, I'd love to push some buttons for you." I don't know. We wanted that more than anything, but I didn't have the balls to ask him because I was like, I know you just want to come hang out. We don't want to make you work at a show. He asked, and we're like, "Dude, we're going to take you up on it. Like, if you're going to be there and you want to run sound." He's like, he's just a great dude.
I can't ask him how many times I dragged into Pops.
Right?
He fucking hates Pops.
Right. Right.
But yeah.
So this is the Pageant show is a USO show, right?
Right.
Have you guys worked with them before doing USO stuff, or is this your first time? Or?
I don't think Cavo really ever has, have we?
Mm-mm. That's the first.
I did a way back in the day in 2001 during the holidays. I did a DoD tour with the cover band. We went to Egypt and Iraq and Jordan, Egypt. I said Egypt. It was really cool, and that's one of the reasons why we took this show. We really like going back to when we were talking about the Ink Splat. We really want to play that show every year. We wanted to so bad. We just weren't ready. Like the songs were just done. We were just got them done. Like we wouldn't have had enough time to come home, set up, find a place to practice, play them, and get good enough to actually play the show. We didn't want to disappoint anybody. So, but that's why when we got the show, we all talked about it. We said, let's just do it acoustic, so it's different, and it's it's because we wouldn't have had enough. We don't think we would have been ready full. Because it takes a lot of being in bands. You know that you need to get the sounds that you made on the record. So for like Chris and Brian, it's a lot of money put into your gear. Mm-hmm. But we played this show simply because one, we're going to do it acoustic, and two, because it's for the troops. Yeah. To give back to people like that. I mean, I remember when I was in Egypt, just sitting there thinking to myself, I'm here for 30 days, and these guys are giving up years of their lives to keep us safe. And they're lining up after we get done playing 3 hours of cover songs to shake my hand and be like, thank you so much for coming. And I'm like, I just couldn't thank them enough. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, thank me. Yeah. I would never say it to them. I would throw them, like, I'll be going home in about a week, dude.
Yeah, right.
Like, you're not going to see your parents on Christmas. That sucks. Yeah. That sucks.
I was mentioned Stern earlier. I remember when Artie Lang was on the show and him telling stories about doing comedy over there and talking about, like, he went to some places like that like nobody goes to, a lot of the stuff they go to is pretty safe, but he went through some he went through some shit to get where he was going, where they went to perform and stuff, and he makes a lot of jokes about it, but he was saying like they gave him bulletproof vest and stuff, all that, he's got all this stuff on, and he's saying, Artie tells a story about next to this guy, and they had I guess there was expecting some kind of enemy fire kind of thing, and they told him to get down, and Artie's there, and he's like saying something about being scared, and he's like, man, if that thing hits you, you're just gonna be a pile of ash. And he's like, he's like, you're gonna be a big pile of ash, but you're gonna be a pile of ash. So he loved that those guys were giving him shit back,
right, right.
And,
that's awesome.
But yeah, I was just like, man, just hearing those stories, it's like, man, that's crazy to think about, like those guys over there doing that stuff, and especially when, I'm still going on, but
right.
I don't know, but yeah, it's scary stuff, man. It's makes you really appreciate those guys that are doing that.
God, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys know Yelawolf or Meg Myers at all?
Not really. I bet Yelawolf would rock on the range for like 5 minutes. He's a really cool dude, really super cool dude.
He was at both of them played Point Fest.
Yeah.
And I saw Meg set. I didn't see Yelawolf.
He's amazing.
I was probably at the top stage. A bunch of my friends over there. But Meg was a lot of fun to watch, though. She's got a good thing going right now.
Yeah, super talented. Yeah. I heard she's really, really short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like super short.
I heard she's got a thing for the drummer for Cavo.
Oh, I heard that too. We're both Nashville cats. We are.
We'll have to,
hometown girl.
We'll have to let Bond down easy. I think his whole plan is to play the show and then seduce her.
That's why I said that.
That's why he has that robe backstage. I knew it.
I said that's going to be complex.
Yes.
Shut up.
I think Bond's wearing an ascot that night,
right? Pipe.
Yep.
Is that Sex Panther you're wearing?
Well, yeah, it's funny. Everyone always says me and Bond look alike. And if you actually go to Google Images sometimes, type in Brooke Royal Bond, and a picture of me comes up. It's no joke. We've tried it a couple times. Yeah, backstage at like a Point Fest artist lounge. It's me, and it's like Brooke Royal Bond. I think he discovered that because he was shamelessly Googling himself one time.
Right.
That came up. It's an embarrassing thing to tell someone, like, oh, if you Google Andy Herron and you find Casey, like, how'd you find that out? Like, oh, shit.
Oh, I don't know. A friend told me.
My mom was Google.
Oh shit!
What's Google? I'm out of here.
Did you guys, if you guys get the chance, go listen to Brooke Royal's episode I did. We recorded one with them and at Limp. They were rehearsing over there for the Ink Spot show, and it's not my best sound quality wise because being at Limp and
Ghosts.
The constant whispering in the background.
It was maybe it was a ghost trekking bass, but somebody was down there playing bass and it really carried through the walls.
Oh, man.
And so I couldn't, in the room you didn't really hear it as bad, but on the mic you hear, just like this bass thumping. And but anyway, still a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
Bon told a really funny story on there about somebody mailing him a bag of dicks, like a little gummy candy and stuff. Like, and it was just that eat a bag of dicks, and he still doesn't know who sent it.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
But
That's a great.
it was a great story. So if you want to hear the full version of it, even though there's
Andy.
It was Brooke Roll Bond.
Brooke Rollbond.
With a picture of Andy here.
So I put a picture up on the old Facebook, and a couple people wrote in. You guys care taking some questions from the fans?
Some mail.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mail questions. Are they screened?
Nope.
Ooh.
No, I don't know.
Can I ask Andy a question while you're looking for that question?
I guess I'll allow that.
Your arch nemesis, does he wear a costume or makeup or anything? Or just...
Oh, dude, he does. He wears the costume of being a decent human being. but
Oh!
no one is buying.
That was a very deep burn.
No one is buying.
Yeah. That's good.
That reminds me of it's I'm pretty sure it's like Bo Burnham or something. And he's like, my girlfriend had a real weird fantasy or fetish where she used to dress up. Oh man, she ruined it.
I'm going to ask you to tell me that again.
Bad place
Yeah.
to
That was awesome.
She used to dress up like herself and act like a total fucking bitch or something. Like that. But it was around the summer, like. I'll have to look it up.
I do love Bo. He's
His
funny.
Google
Yeah.
fetish
Yeah.
should come up.
Anyway, it was. It's a lot funnier when they say it. Stupid. Trying to. All right, here we go. So there was one for Pookie, but he's not here for this evening.
We'll forward it to him.
What is the answer for it?
Yeah. So Joe wanted to know about influences and any notable local mentors. I guess we sort of answered some of that about Scotty.
Yeah.
I guess we can. Did you guys? Before working with him, were you guys big fans of Mesh and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met Scotty years and years ago, like when he was just playing acoustic by himself. He used to come into my house and we'd get stoned and drunk and he'd play songs and told him I wanted to sing and he let me write with him for the first time ever writing songs. I wrote some songs with him in Mesh and
That's awesome.
ended up writing a song with him called Rocking Chair. It was one of the first songs I ever wrote. That went on their very first disc ever, and then we wrote Clear Day together.
Such a good song.
And then we wrote like a lot of the stuff off of the modern Day Zero Mesh STL stuff. I'd help him write with, and then he would help with stuff. And
Very cool.
he's just that dude, man. He's the one who pushed me on stage to sing for the very first time. With his band, he'd push me because like to go back to the question with influences, like my favorite singers of all time is like Eddie Vedder and Blue October. I think it's just the passion that they exude from their performance and their voices, and they don't take shit. They don't pull any punches. They say what they want to say, and they take the shit for it.
Right.
But Scotty always would say, well, you love Pearl Jam, so we're going to play a Pearl Jam song tonight. Do you want to get up and sing it? Sure, no problem. And every time I knew it was coming to the set, I'd go hide in the bathroom because I'd never sang in front of anybody before. One night, he figured it out, and he told his band, he's like, look, it's on the set list now. We're going to play the song after, though, okay? So I went and hid, came back out. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, we're doing it now. Come on up.
Oh, man.
So the first time I ever got on stage was because he threw me out there.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome. Pressure's on.
right.
I've never been on stage until I was at Pops. There was a We Are United Ink Spot Block Party showcase down there, and they allowed me to set up a table. And then Big Dave goes, "You want to get on stage and talk about the show?" And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, so I'm like freaking out a little bit, I'm like, but yeah, so. I would have never done it if he didn't push me to get out there and do it and talk, plug the show, said, hey, check it out. And so very, very thankful for him to give me the push to. So
help keep the drive alive, man.
Yeah.
Who are your influences, Andy? In here?
Cavo's
that douchebag in Nashville that drives you to play drums way better.
Douchebag guy. No, I don't know. Like, influences for me, I think, would probably be... When I was a kid, I was a huge... I grew up in the 90s, so huge, like, Jim Blossom, Soul Asylum. Loved the Eagles a lot growing up. Loved Guns N' Roses when I was a kid. Drummer-wise, my biggest influence would probably be Don Henley, and then there's a guy named Ira Elliott from the band Nada Surf, and which is another 90s band who's still around and great. But he kind of taught me just the way he plays drums. Like, he can throw down, but like just the way he throws in that really tasteful hi-hat things, and kind of taught me just the idea of like playing for the song, I guess. Yeah. And then locally, I kind of had a mentor with a guy named Pat Liston, who was in a 70s band called Mama's Pride, who still reunites every year, I think, and plays the Pageant. But he started coming to one of my older band shows back like 10 years ago, and just really kind of mentored us on like how to write good songs, how to have better tunes and stuff. He was great. I think they're still playing too, as far as I know.
I think Pat does solo shows.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think his birthday is a couple days ago. I think just turned 31. It's a young man. What about you, Chris?
I guess the biggest thing, just growing up, I was always a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. I still am. Yeah. So that's like the constant for me. I've always loved that band and just the energy they produce. And John Frusciante is probably my favorite guitar player ever. He's just so incredible. He's on a different level. So that's definitely just my biggest one. But I love so much music, it's kind of hard to narrow it down. Right. But that's probably my definite always listening to.
I spoke to Jerry Jost of The Urge on the show, and he told me a story about auditioning for the Chili Peppers and getting to jam with Flea and Kiedis and stuff, and obviously didn't get the job, but just that moment in time right there, I'm like, man, that'd been incredible.
It's enough to live on.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, he said it was he submitted a tape, and there was enough on the tape that they called him out flew him out there and stuff, and he got to.
That is so cool.
So I was like, man, this is a cool story.
Right.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Talk about a rad thing to do.
Right.
The Chili Peppers.
But yeah, that I'm a big fan of all that. Semisonic was my very first concert.
Yeah, nice.
Semisonic, Matchbox 20, and Soul Asylum.
Oh yeah, okay, that's awesome.
So that was
where at
Scott Trade.
I was there.
Yeah, and that was the late 90s. Soul Asylum opened too, when they were on the way down. That's crazy.
That was my first one I picked. I'm sure my parents took me to stuff before that, but that was the one I remember telling my mom I wanted to go because I was big into Matchbox 20 and
what a great band.
That was like 97. So it was.
That's awesome.
Talking about Scotty, so I missed a lot of. I have the albums, but I never really got to watch Mesh or Modern Day Zero perform. And one night I was at Shamrocks hanging out, and Denver Wade Trent was playing, and Scotty was hanging out. It was like a Talk STL party a couple years ago, and Scotty gave Wade a break, took his guitar, and he did Cumbersome.
Oh, nice.
And There was another cover, and then Clear Day, and I went right back to being a 15-year-old kid. This is awesome, man. I was like,
oh, dude.
I never, like I said, not being able to witness that person, before, but to be able to watch him play and sing, I was like, this is incredible, man.
Well, I had no idea that Casey even had a hand in writing Clear Day, because we were on the bus when I first joined the band, and we were just talking about, like, I think we were bonding over an old Collective Soul song, Run, from the Varsity Blues soundtrack, as you're drinking your surge.
Great song.
99. But total 90s, great song. But so we were talking Mesh, and I was like, oh, I love the song Clear Day. And Casey was like, oh, I helped write that song. I wrote that song. And I remember being like, oh, shit. I thought you were joking at first.
Yeah.
So, of course, then he heard some gentle sobbing coming from my bunk later that night. I just couldn't believe it. It's good. Singing along. Pick it up and you look around. He's right. Do it. That guy's right there. I had no idea. It's a great song. Casey, what is this part? I kept waking him up all night. I was like, one more question. Will you sign my iPhone case? But yeah, I knew it. And I saw Mesh Point Fest like 99 when I was in high school. And it was like, awesome. On the main stage and everything. That's the only time I'd seen him, I think, was that one time.
Yeah. What, did Scotty write Concentrate? Do you know?
Mm-hmm. Him and Rock, I think.
Yeah. That,
Scott Davis.
That one, I was listening to it at work one night on my iPod and just clicked, man. I was like, I love this song. I listened to it like 5-6 times in a row. It was just like such a great song. But I love that simple with the piano arrangement and stuff. It's not, it's just kind of stripped down like that, and it's just really cool.
If I remember correctly, I was there the night they recorded it, and they recorded the vocals. He was sitting outside of the studio on the front step having a smoke, and just that's the one that has like the ambience in the background with like the bugs and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, I think
it's that one. But he was just sitting out there, and the dude who was I forget who produced it, but he was like, it's a really cool ambience out here. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's quiet. So they set up a mic outside there, and he just sang it there.
Yeah,
it was just so cool.
That's awesome.
You can hear it in the track. You can hear like the outside. It's really neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got on the fan questions here.
I remember watching you guys, and I told you this at Pops one time, but Point Fest. Like, this was the first Point Fest because I was a preacher's kid growing up. So the first one I ever got to go to.
Yeah.
Like, senior high school, whatever. But, yeah, I saw you guys, and the Point Essential. I forget which volume it was, but I just picked that up. So, like, you guys from the very beginning were, pretty big inspiration, for everybody in St. Louis. But
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
No, it's just really cool. And, it's cool to see now and everything.
Right.
I remember you and the guitar you were playing. I just remember everything.
That's cool, man. Thank you.
Right back in my Schecter days.
Yep.
It was kind of like that flying V thing.
Hey, who's with me actually? You guys know Pat Gibson, don't you?
Yeah. He was our guitar tech for a long time.
He's been on tour with us as well.
The first band I was in, he was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's such a
small world, dude.
Yeah,
this is the great thing about St. Louis.
Right.
This stuff happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
So cool.
Drake wrote in, says, any words of wisdom to the St. Louis music scene? What would you like our scene, or what do you like about our scene? What don't you like about it, etc. So, you guys.
I think a lot of the stuff that we've covered. I think the words of wisdom. Not that I have any to offer. Like if you just kind of write a song and you get lucky, but that we are a united thing is great. I think that's a big thing for the scene. I think a big part of it is being helpful to each other, and like you said, what Zig said to you. It's like that's the perfect comeback to anything. It's like no one cares about what I'm doing. Well, do you care about what they're doing? Mm-hmm. And it's like if you can't honestly answer yourself yes, then why would you expect them? It's like when you write music. Like if you can't get into the music yourself, if you're not pouring your soul into it, then how do you expect anybody else to grasp onto it? But the things that I don't like about the St. Louis music scene, I still feel like there is still some sides of it where it's like that. I think some people talk shit on other bands, and I think that's just unacceptable. I think it's like, some people be like, a really, really, really heavy band will make fun of like a little pop act here in St. Louis, and it's like, they're not your style, doesn't mean that they're not good. There's room for all music in this world.
Right.
It's like when I was growing up, I got made fun of all the time, and I can't believe I'm telling you this, but like my favorite music, they were like Guns N' Roses and Metallica, and I was listening to Phil Collins and Celine Dion and Michael Bolton. I know it sounds like totally fucked up, but I liked Celine Dion for the same reason he loved Slash.
Yeah.
He's a guitar player, and Slash killed it.
Right.
Celine Dion's vocals, I was a singer, and it just blew my mind the way she could sing and the way Michael Bolton could sing. It was like I tried to emulate that. I wanted to be like, how do you hit those fucking notes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's just too much in St. Louis, too much good bands and players, and I just hate how sometimes it seems like it's divided. But then what I love about it is like you go to a place like the Ink Spot, and someone like Dave is doing a huge part. I mean, he's taking it by the horns, man. The first time we played it was on flatbeds next to the ink shop, and like you jumped and the thing moved. It was like, and now it's at the actual fairgrounds. It's sponsored by people and stuff. And it's like he's doing something. He's not just standing in the sidelines. He's making sure that this is what's funny is like that's the start of something that like maybe in 10 years is going to be at the amphitheater, and it's going to sell out every time, and it's going to bring record executives in it, and he's going to be able to look back at that and say, I started this on a flatbed. I did something, and it's going to help everybody in St. Louis. That's what they need to realize. It's like uniting makes you much stronger. Mm-hmm. Very long-winded. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I love it, man. That's like I said before, it's nice to even feel free to get a little wordy and stuff and to go on about something, because it's obviously you guys are passionate about it, but it's like this is a good platform for that, to where you don't have to worry about trying to get a sound bite or whatever kind of thing. We can just
exactly.
But yeah, I totally agree with all that, man. I think we are kind of, like Gabe said too before, man, we're getting to that point. I think there's a lot going on. I mean, they're our buddies, but it's fun to go watch. Me and Gabe went to go see Pat Gibson and our buddy Blake. They play in a cover band.
Right.
And we went to go watch them play, and it's like, and another local musician, Drew, showed up and watched and stuff. It was just
Jason from Brook Road.
Oh yeah, Jason.
Yeah. Nice. I see him all the time, man.
So it's cool to see.
It's getting way better, dude. It really, truly is. I think it's getting to be a big thing here in St. Louis. I think Dave had a big part in that.
Huge part.
Starting that, and then like you said, like Pat, like I have 5 kids, so it's hard for me to get outside the house when I'm not doing this, So, but I try as hard as I can, and I've seen I see Jason everywhere. Yeah. Zyken goes everywhere. Like every time we'll play a cover show, and he'll show up. And then like Ziggy's show showed up last time. Scotty will just pop in one night. You'd be like, oh my god, it's like that's just cool, man.
Yeah. I think it was one of the other questions, but I'm sure you guys, especially since we talked about at the beginning, over 3 years in the making, but you guys have been on various other projects. Do you guys want to plug any of those, or what do you guys?
Well, Poogie's not here, so I will for him. He started our old drummer Chad, and him started a band with some old friends called The Poor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was actually watching that video.
Really good music.
Yeah, just put that video out. That song's great.
Really good music, man. That singer is phenomenal. We used to open up for his band
Crushed
Blue Velvet, who the guitar player ended up being in our band for a while before we were signed and everything. But I remember back then, it's like, man, this dude, his voice is just retarded. It's so fucking good. Right. It's got that super cool smoky tone. Yeah. Can hit notes that like you wouldn't expect him to be able to, and it's like it's a really good band. But Andy's in like 17 bands. I'll let him have the floor for 35 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to get my list out. No, I mean, really, my only main project besides Cavo is a band called Repeat Repeat from Nashville.
Super cool.
Which I actually started with.
So good.
That band is so.
You guys have heard that? Such a great.
I've heard the name, and
cool.
You got to check it out.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Enough about me. What do you think about me?
He said humbly.
It's so humbly. It's a fun project. I started it with Jared Corder, just the guy in the band. And then one day I came back from doing some Cavo stuff, and we were trying to find a girl singer to sing in the band as well, because there was a two-piece at the time, but we didn't want to be like the Black Keys and everybody else in Nashville trying to do the two-piece thing. And he was like, hey, I couldn't find a singer, so my wife just sang on the demo. I think she's going to be in the band. I remember my exact thought was, absolutely not. I love your wife, she's great, but I don't want to play in a band with because I figured,
husband and wife dynamic.
And they're always, it's like when your kids, like if one of Casey's kids bring in like a picture they drew and it's terrible, to him it's going to be great, but the rest of us will lie and say it's great, but we're going to think it's terrible. But so I thought he probably,
is he trying to tell you something?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, let me sharpen my knife over.
I thought you probably just think she can sing because you're married to her, but sure enough, it was great, and so he started
just like my kids' drawings, right?
Yeah, his young Picasso.
Sure enough.
But
who broke your kick drum?
Why is there a piece of my hair missing in the back? But I do that, and every once in a while I'll play with the Tom Pappas collection, which is my buddy Tom. Has a solo project down there, and he has like a revolving door of drummers. But other than that, just those two. I got another offer to play the band. I wanted to, but it gets busy, and especially with Cavo coming back and forth. I want to make sure I don't lose any more time with these guys. Yeah. So I just keep bands.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, guys, I guess we'll look to wrap this thing up. Come out October 23rd, the Pageant, Cavo with Yelawolf, Meg Myers, and it's a USO show.
Everybody's opening up.
And Matt Wynn. Yeah, Matt Wynn will be there.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm excited because this is gonna be a rare night with
right
doing a.
Let's have a beater.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun night, man.
Or 7.
Yeah.
Or 14.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw some tracks on. What would you guys would like me to play?
I say you choose, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What something that you love?
Is it Blame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was listening to the record, and that one stood out to me today. I was like,
We always love
man,
that.
that's a good jam right there. Yeah, I love I love the guitar, and then at the end you can really hear the bass coming through too, and stuff. Like sometimes, depending on the mixing and stuff, sometimes some of the bass gets like, just kind of becomes part of the song. But I like when you can actually hear the bass like feature and stuff.
Right.
Like,
Brian's so good.
Yeah.
We try to do as much as possible because we're a 4-piece band.
Right.
And we try to really keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a great bass player, so why not?
Sure.
Push that to the forefront.
For sure. But yeah, so I'll do that. What about you, Gabe? What do you want? You want to pick one?
We All Fall Down.
Oh, nice. Some deep cuts.
Yeah.
Deep cuts.
That song is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Cool. All right. Well, stick around for Blame and We All Fall Down. See these guys the 23rd, and keep your eyes out for new music coming.
New music coming very soon.
January
26th.
January 16.
Maybe we can get together again and hype up a release show or something.
Man.
Or
Might be in the it might be in the books.
Yeah.
Ooh, might be in the...
Maybe we can play some new stuff for you.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah. All right, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for taking some time out. Yeah. Thank you.
And I could never leave a light. There was anything Everything is random, everyone is fake. Everything we build will just disintegrate. No one will remember, would anybody care if everything around us just disappeared? But don't let them change your mind. I'm trying to save you now. We all fall down when it's over now. We won't be broken now. We all fall down. Said you never leave me, it's like you're never there. Moments that we wasted turned into years. Take a look around you, nothing's ever fair. Reasons that they change you turned into fear. But don't let them change your mind. I'm trying to save you now. We all fall down when it's over now. We won't be broken now. We all fall down. In need of a change, the need of the light. The moment was wrong and no one is right. And I know that someday you'll turn your back to me. I know that someday you won't be there for me. I'm trying to save you now. We all fall down when it's over now. We won't be broken now. We all fall down. We all fall down. We all fall.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.